Yeah, YouTubers, Tasman here, bringing you another episode of Learn JavaScript with Foundry VTT. And as you can see, we are in version 11, build 306, which is the latest one. I think it was released just a couple days ago. And if everything goes well, we're going to do basically two episodes back to back. Just so I have some in queue. So anyway, let's go ahead and begin. So if we come back in, we're currently working on string manipulation. There's probably two episodes worth left. And what I was thinking is I'm just going to do a 17a and 17b because it is a lot of information that we're going to be getting. So let's go ahead and actually I could do it here, right? I keep forgetting I can do it here and then just say put it inside the folder. There we go. That's the one I wanted. And we'll do 17a, or maybe we should do 17b and then we can rename that to 17a. I don't know. stringmanipulation manipulation. Is that right? We'll pretend it is. All right, so we have our string manipulation. Let's go grab our template real quick. And let's get on with it. All right, so I'm going to put a bunch of character returns in here. And we're going to go ahead and begin. Let's see. Let's get everything all lined up and stuff as well. Yeah, we know. That's probably good. All right, so in our previous episode, if we go look real quick, oops, wrong thing. How do I want to do this? Let's just do this. So in our previous episode, we went over, what the string is. We're gonna get that thing a lot. Why don't we usually get that? So we went over what a string is, and it's kind of like an array, and talked about, index of, last index of, finding things, slicing. And I think that's where we ended it. In this episode, we're going to go in further with some additional components of it. So I didn't save that. I am not doing so well. Also, I'm back on track. I apologize once again for for the last video, and I don't know how many people caught it, but then I even messed up yet again. And I'm sure people actually caught this. So for those that don't know, the video where I think I was talking about sets and maps, or no, it was before the maps, sets and the one just before that, which I think was chaining, optional chaining. I ended up not pasting, but re-uploading those same videos, but was calling it Maps 1 and Maps 2, but it was actually talking about optional chaining. So I realized I made that mistake. In my next video, said, apparently I lost my map stuff. This is going to be the map stuff. And then I actually uploaded them both and then scheduled them backwards so that number 2 was going to be released a week before number 1. So once I realized I did that, I went ahead and released 1, I think it was 30 minutes or an hour after the release of 2. So hopefully I'm back on track and doing better with this. This is string manipulation. This is video 2. I believe video 1, let me just make sure. Yes, string manipulation part 1 was already released. So this is part 2, and we're going to jump right in. So we're going to talk about some more of these things, the methods that are built in. And to do so, we're going to take just a this is more formatting that we're going to be talking about a little bit today. So here you can see we have this Forgotten Realms, and it's uppercase, lowercase, it's all just messed up. Well, JavaScript also gives us a very nice way of making this all uniform, and the first one we're going to talk about is the to lowercase method. So I'm going to do that. A method to change all characters to LOWRCASE. All right, so that's going to be the first one we're going to do here. So it's really easy. So we have our string up above, and we're just going to do this with a console log and show you that we'll do it with the with our variable up above. Console.log and that, and we're going to do our special little ticks. And that's funny. In my notes, I actually have my little to console log backwards. And this one, I want to make sure I get those right. All right, so what we're going to do is say to LOWER, and maybe do our colon, and then we're going to go ahead and stick in our string literal piece, and we're going to say so we have setting setting, and the way we do it is we simply say to lowercase with the parentheses. And what this will output, there's nothing inside the parentheses, that's just simply saying that we're calling our method. So if we run this, you'll see now we've got Forgotten Realms all in lowercase. Now, not only can we do that, we can also do this more where it's not a variable. I don't know how to explain that. Con.log. And let's take, for example, since we did Forgotten Realms, let's go ahead and do some as do Galarian from Pathfinder. So we'll do GOLA. Actually, I didn't want to do this like this. I want that one like that. GOLA. Let's do RIA and an uppercase N. So directly on a string itself, you can also do this. So we could also do dot to lowercase. Sorry, I'm still a little sick. And you can see it's actually changing Galarian as well. All right, let's go and clear that. And now let's talk about the next one. And I bet you can guess what it is. So we're going to do our CONSOLSO console.log. Gosh. Well, I don't know what I hit. Something that tried launching Edge. And just sticking our quotes. Okay, so our next one is obviously going to be uppercase, right? So let's just copy that real quick. We'll paste it here, and we'll change this to upper, like so, and upper here. And of course, this is where I had it wrong on my other thing. Upper. And upper. All right, so now if we simply run this, you'll see that now we have all uppercase Forgotten Realms and all uppercase Galarian. So let's go ahead and look at, now the one thing that's kind of weird is there isn't like in Python, I think it is, there's like a capitalize, which will, or I think there's one called title, and there's one called capitalize. And if I remember right, what they do is title will put an uppercase at the beginning of every single word, and capitalize will uppercase the very first word in a line of words or a string of multiple words. So in JavaScript, it's not quite that easy. So we can combine these, though, to kind of simulate that. And I'm going to go ahead and do that right here. As you can see, I said we can use the methods that we've learned so far to fix the case of a namespace. So, for example, I think we do the Galarian one with this. So let me just grab this real quick, drag that down there, and let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to take our Galarian that's right here, and we're going to set that as a constant, a variable, con const, and we'll go ahead and call this, what did I call it, pf2e, and we'll say equals Galarian. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is, because it's all messed up, we want to change the entire thing to lowercase. So let's go and do that by using what we've learned. We're going to call this const, and I'm going to do pf2e, and I'm going to do lower. And we're going to say equals, and we're just going to say pf2e dot to lower case. I put a space in there, like so. And right now, our string will all be lowercase. Now, because we don't have something that just says capitalize the first letter, we need to do that ourselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new constant, and we're going to call this pf2e fixed, maybe. And we're going to go ahead and take our pf2e lower, that one right there, but we only want the very first character of it, right? So we only want the G, which we know, because it's kind of treated like an array, is going to be that G. It's in the first place. Then what we're going to do, is we're going to change that one to upper. So I'm going to say to uppercase, like that. And then what we need to do is take the rest of our lowercase and append it to it, because right now, if we look at this, all pf2e is going to be is a G, because we're taking the G, which is in place 0, and we're making it uppercase. So if we come down here and do, oh my gosh, con.log, and let's do this and call it Pathfinder setting, like so, and then we'll do our $sign that, and we'll say pf2e fixed, and I know we don't need those, but it's always good to put them there. Let's see, we are getting an error. Console is misspelled. Of course it is. C-O-N-S-O-L-E. There we go. So now you can see it's just that uppercase G, but we want to take the rest of Galarian as lowercase. So what we're going to do is we're going to append or add into that our pf2e lowercase. But if we do that directly, we're going to actually have that G. And we don't want the G. It'll be uppercase G, lowercase g. I'll show you what I mean. pf2e dot lower, so like that. So if we run that, you'll see now we actually have good Galorian, and we don't want that. We want to get rid of that. So in our last episode, what we learned is we can actually get rid of or cut up our things. So we're going to go ahead and do our slice method. And we're going to begin not at 0, we want to begin at 1, and it will go to the end because the default is for it to automatically go all the way. I don't remember if this tells you that. So now what we're going to get is, because we're removing the G from the lowercase one and getting everything else. So what this is basically saying is, you know, the same as saying colon and then whatever our last character is. But we don't need to do that. Have I got this right? Yes. Okay. So now if we run this, you'll see that now we have Galarian exactly as we want. Not the easiest way to do it, and you could easily write a method that you could just pass a string to, and it will simply take, you know, the very first character. After making everything lowercase, it'll take the first character, and then it'll simply return it. Basically, this would be the return. So that is a little easier to accomplish in Python and other programming languages, some other programming languages, not all. All right, so I need a drink real quick because as you can tell, my voice is getting bad. All right, so the next thing we want to do is there's also a one called, is that what we're at? Yes, we're on trim. And what trim does is it will automatically trim from the beginning and the end of a string, and get rid of any white spaces or white space characters. Now that's including our, you know, carriage return. So if we take my paladin, actually I'm just going to cut and paste because it's way faster than me typing. So here we can say it says trim, put in a manual carriage return there. So trim method, trim is a method to trim white space from the beginning and the ending of your string. This includes the new line escape character. So as you can see, we have Sir Garrett Voidthorn here. Then we have Sir Garrett Voidthorn here that has some spaces and a carriage return or a new line edit. So just to kind of drive this point home, we're going to say sole.log, and I think I did this, yeah, as a string literal. We're going to say NAME, names are the same, with maybe a thing like that. And then in here, we will go ahead and compare these two to see if they're same. So the way we do that is we say name, did I type that right? Name1 equals name2. And of course, because we are brilliant, we know that these are not the same. Now, actually, I don't know why I have a lowercase here. There we go. Hold on just a sec. Oh, actually, no, I did that on purpose. So, we can see that name1 and name2, if we run this, names are the same, we get false. Now, also, part of the reason I wanted to point this out, just to drive something that we learned a while ago, is the uppercase and lowercase are also separate. An uppercase S and a lowercase s are completely two different things. So if I were to do something like this and say names are the same, Control V, but I take name1, because you might go, oh yeah, but it's got lowercase in it. We can go to lowercase, like so, and now technically they're the same words minus the white space. So if we execute that, you'll see that, yeah, there's still faults. So how can we make this be true? Well, all we have to do here on name2, is that what I did? Yes. On name2, we can use the trim. So we just do trim and our parentheses. And now we should get, you have to spell it right. We should get that they are the same. And there you go. Now they're the same because it's removed the new line and any spaces before. All right, so that is the trim. Control C there, Control V there. Go ahead and add some more. Next one we're going to do is the replace. So I'm sure you're thinking you understand what replace is, and you're probably right. Let's go ahead and just put that here. So replace is a method to replace the first instance of part of a string. So, and as you can see here, that you put what you want to replace and what you want to replace it with. So I'm going to take two variables here, and we have melee, longsword, and longbow. And I'm going to copy and paste this because it'll be a lot quicker. Sometimes I can type it pretty quick, but we're almost we're actually out of time, and we have a bit more to go. So I'm going to do a lot of copy and pasting. Sorry about that. Part of that is my big long explanation at the beginning. But so here we have melee being longsword, range being longbow. And here we're saying melee equals replace long with short. And here we're saying replace ranged, replace the string long, and find it and replace it with short. So what we should be seeing here is a short sword and a short bow. So let's go and clear that and run it. And sure enough, you can see our melee is now short sword and our ranged is short bow. Now with replace, my goodness, there is another one called replace all. And I'm pretty sure you can imagine what this does, where this only does the first instance. Replace all will actually do all instances. Now you can actually run this multiple. Let's say I had longbow, short bow in this main in melee for whatever reason. If I ran replace and then immediately ran replace again, it would actually get the second one. So if I said maybe comma long staff, I don't know, long staff. If I run this, it's only going to replace that first one. So if we look, you'll see we have short sword, long staff. However, we can run that a second time. So we take this replace on the melee, hit Control C, and chain it. It will take our new phrase or our new string, and it will run this a second time on it. So if we do that and run it, you'll actually see now we have short sword, short staff. So I just wanted to, actually that's fine because those are both melee anyway, so that's good. So you can run it multiple times and it will get, the first instance and the second instance. All these places I keep missing my semicolons. But with the one, with the other one, I need more water, which is, wait, is this, let me just check where I'm at real quick. Okay, so with replace all, it will actually get every instance in the entire string that meets the criteria. So we're going to go ahead and cut and paste that real quick. And here, Control C, Control V. Here we have replace all, which is, I don't know why I don't have a on any of those. Replaces all instances found in a string. So here I have a whole list of items. I have short bow, short sword, strawberry shortcake, and Martin short. And you can see here I'm doing items, which is our list there. Replace all, which is just uppercase A, what we're looking for and what we want to replace it with. So if we run this, you'll see we get longbow, longsword, strawberry long cake, and Martin long. And the final one I wanted to go over here is some things that are actually more tests. They return true or false depending on their results. Whoops. So I'm going to take a big long string here, which is the description, one of the paragraphs that describes a rogue in D&D. And I'm going to show you these tests real quick, and then we'll run that, and we'll call this an episode. I think be about 30 minutes. So Control C, don't want to paste that. Now let's go ahead and do Control C, and we'll come over here and do Control V. All right, so as you can see, we have this big long string here, starting with signaling and ending with open, which is going to be important. But what we want to do is look at these special other methods that we have. And the first one is called includes, which will simply check if the what you're asking about, which right here is tools, we're checking if tools is inside this string. And then we're going to do it a second time, and as you can see, obviously it's not highlighting it, so sneak is not in that string. We also have one that gives us starts with, so we can see if it starts with signaling, and yes, you can see it there, or we could see if waving is what it starts with. And the final one is ends with. So we have includes, starts with, and ends with. So here you can see we're seeing if it ends with open. Here we're seeing if it ends with closed. So if we go ahead and close that, or clear that, go ahead and paste it, you can see here that our phrase there did include tools, does not include sneak. It does start with signaling, but does not start with waving, and ends with open. Ends with open, but does not end with closed. So these are some more. In the next episode, we're going to learn even some more, and my voice is going to be so bad by the end of that episode. I apologize for that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, subscribe, click that little notification bell. Follow me on Twitter. A long time ago, I predicted Twitter's going away, and I was right. It looks like Elon Musk is renaming Twitter to X. So, but I'm still going to call it Twitter because it's going to be hard for me to remember to say follow me on X. So follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord channels. Join those, whatever. Tell other people about my channel. Have them check it out. If they like what they see, they can sub. We grow the channel. Everyone's happy. Everyone wins. I get more subs, all that fun stuff. And that is it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.